طيب إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن هدي محمد صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد, Inshallah ta'ala, we'd like to start off on this night of ours by saying to each and every one, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, Allah ta'ala, He has allowed us to come together upon khair, and He has allowed us to come together bi'idhnillahi ta'ala so that we can remind each other of a reality that is true for each and every one of us. So bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, before actually getting into the talk itself, we just want to remind our brothers and our sisters, those whom are here and those whom are listening by way of the internet, that bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, it is upon you, it is upon you, each and every one of you, to give an-nasiha, because the deen is an-nasiha. The deen is the giving of good and sincere advice. And as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he also had informed us, كل ابن آدم خطاء وخير الخطائين التوابون, that all the sons of Adam, they make mistakes, and the best of those who make mistakes are those who make tawbah. So be that as it may, it is possible that there are going to be mistakes that I'm going to make. So if you hear a mistake from me, I ask you by Allah Ta'ala to come to me and to give to me my error, so that I may correct it before I meet my Lord, so I may correct my mistake and not bring that mistake with me to the akhirah and stand in front of my Lord with that mistake. So bring me my mistake, inshallah ta'ala, fi dunya, in the dunya, so I may correct it. Barakallahu ta'ala fikum. So this is, I ask each and every one of you by Allah Ta'ala this, okay? So don't let anything slide you to, if you hear a mistake, then you inform me. But even though I'm sitting and I'm reading, sometimes your eyes play tricks, sometimes you read too fast, sometimes your tongue slips, okay? So inform me of my mistake if I were to make a mistake, inshallah ta'ala. And the tawfiq is from Allah ta'ala. Now, the tawfiq is from Allah ta'ala. So inshallah ta'ala, we have come, and the title of this seminar is Death Draws Near. Are you ready? Now, this is a question which is tremendous, that the death that comes near, are you ready? Because many of us, what we fail to realize, it's easy for us to forget. A lot of times, if there's something in which you're not that enthused about, it's easy to forget about it. You know, like they say, out of sight, out of mind. You make sure you forget about it. You don't want to contemplate about it, okay? But the reality is that there's not a single individual that the soul gets breathed into him except that is going to have to be taken out of him, meaning that he is going to have to die. There's not a single individual that the soul comes into him except that the soul will leave him, so he is going to have to die. And this is a reality that is shared with all of us. All of us are a little bit closer to death than we were a few seconds ago. And this is a reality that we need to understand. So inshallah ta'ala, because of this reality, we must prepare ourselves for this thing that we're going to have to eventually meet. We can run as best as we try to, but it will catch us. It will catch us eventually. So we need to prepare ourselves for this. So bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, what we have in front of us, one of the things, Juyaanee, because of course we know Allah Ta'ala, He has sent us all that we need to prepare ourselves for meeting Him. Allah Ta'ala, He has sent to us messengers. Allah Ta'ala, He has revealed books. They have come to teach us our religion. The books have been revealed in order to teach us our religion, to prepare us and to give us what we need so that we may be successful in this life and in the akhirah. Now, so we be successful in this life and in the akhirah. And of course we know that there are certain things in this dunya that are counterproductive to this goal. There are going to be certain things inside dunya that will harm us and that way delude us from this reality. So inshallah ta'ala, what we want to do is we want to look at some ayat from the book of Allah Ta'ala. And then we want to look at the explanation of those ayat from the ulama and from the imam. And we want to take it ayah by ayah, bal kalima by kalima. We want to take it word by word, inshallah ta'ala. So this is why, if those Juyaanee have a mushaf in front of them, be it in Arabic or English or both, khair, bring it in front of you, inshallah ta'ala, it will help. And you need a Juyaanee, a pen and a piece of paper, inshallah ta'ala, so that we can go through this. Because what's muhim and what's maqsood, Juyaanee, that which is important and that which is incumbent, is that I don't just come here and say some words to entertain you, you know, but rather we want to take from the kalam of the ai and from the ulama, and we want to benefit with it, so that inshallah ta'ala we leave here better than when we came. We leave here today inshallah better than when we came, and bi'idhnillahi ta'ala we come tomorrow and we leave tomorrow better than when we came. Wa hakadha, inshallah ta'ala. And this is what is intended, is that we hear the reminder and we benefit from it. And we ask that Allah Ta'ala, He makes us of those people who they hear a statement and then they follow the best of it, inshallah. So bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, if everyone now would turn bi'idhnillah to a surah that was revealed in Mecca. And this is the most strongest opinion, is that this surah, it was revealed in Mecca. And it is Surah Takaathur. Now, bi'idhnillah, when the brothers have the mushaf in front of them, please tell me what number surah is this in the number of the surah? 102. It's surah 102. Now, wait, it's surah 102. So we want to take a look at this short surah, inshallah ta'ala, and gain the benefit that is contained therein. Because a lot of times we come across these little surahs, now, and a lot of times we don't give them their due to their small, due to them being small in size. We don't give them their due. We memorize them, we teach them to our children, and then we move on without actually contemplating over the ayat and that is contained therein. Now there is a hikmah, there is a wisdom why Allah Ta'ala, He made these surah so little. There is a hikmah on why these surahs, we say surahs with the s, and it's not the jama', it's just our Englishization of the word. There's a reason why Allah Ta'ala made these surahs so little, or these surahs so little. This is because, as the ulama explains, so that they are accessible to all. Why? Because the meanings that are contained therein are tremendous. This is not to say that the meanings in the bigger surahs are not tremendous, because they are. All of the Qur'an is khair. All of the Qur'an is tremendous. All of the Qur'an is the kalam of Allah, not created. But in these little surahs, Allah Ta'ala, the meanings are tremendous and they are accessible to all of us. They're accessible to the children. They're accessible to the common person. So we should look at them. We should look closely to them so that we may understand their meanings. Even Sheikh bin Baz rahimahullah ta'ala, he gave his advice to the common Muslims, and he said that they should study the meanings of Surah Al-Fatiha and then the meanings of the surah from Zilzala to Nas, because of the benefit that is contained therein, because of the benefit and the guidance that is contained therein. So this is one of the surahs that are in that portion in which the Shaykh, he said, every Muslim should know about these surahs, because they will change your life. And this is the nature of the Qur'an. When you come to the Qur'an, you cannot remain the same. You cannot remain the same. Either you will become better or you will become worse. But you cannot remain the same. So bi'idhnillah ta'ala, we ask Allah ta'ala, He makes us of those who become better, who leave from this majlis and they become better, more deep in understanding, more increasing in iman and in taqwa, wa hakadha. Tayyib. So, as we said, we're going to go word by word, or phrase by phrase. So Allah Ta'ala, He starts this surah like the other surah, and He says what? Barakallahu Ta'ala fiikum. He says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ista'adha. طيب الاستعاذة Allah begins with ista'adha? La, it begins with what? Basmala. But the nasiha for the one reading is that he starts with what? Ista'adha, sah? So Allah Ta'ala starts with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah Ta'ala says, Alhaakumut Takaathur. Now, let us stop here. Let us stop here. We go verse by verse, word by word, phrase by phrase. Khair? So Imam Ibn Jawzi, rahimahullah ta'ala, he mentions inside of his tafseer, he says, Qawluhu ta'ala, Alhaakum. Now, Ibn Jawzi, he says, Qawluhu ta'ala, Alhaakum. He says, Qara'a Abu Bakr as-Siddiq wa Ibn Abbas. Okay, I say this slow so you can write. Qara'a Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. The Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he used to recite. Wa Ibn Abbas, and Ibn Abbas. Wa Sha'bi, and Ash-Sha'bi. Wa Abu Aliyah. Wa Ibn Imran. وابن عمران وابن أبي عبلة. نعم. We got those names. So we got Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Ibn Umar, Ibn Abbas, عفوا بارك الله. شوف you see. أيوة بارك الله فيكم. Ibn Abbas, الشعبي, Abu Aliyah, Ibn Imran, وابن أبي عبلة. عين باء لام تا مربوطة. طيب. They used to recite this word. They used to recite this word. ألهاكم. ألهاكم. أي بهمزتين مقصورتين على الاستفهام. They used to recite it with two hamzas. If you look now to the Arabic, that's why I had you bring the mushaf, you'll find one hamza. Al-Hakum. Al-Hakum. Now, they'll recite it with two hamzas. Al-Hakum. Al-Hakum. Now, what do we understand when it's recited with two hamzas? Is that we gain from this that a question is being asked. That a question is being asked. Now, because we know this Hamza that they added was called Hamza al-Istifham. It is the Hamza that's utilized to ask a question. Okay? A Hamza that's utilized to ask a question. Who could bring an example of this type of Hamza? عندك القلم. نعم بارك الله فيك. Do you have a pen? We say عندك القلم. Do you have a pen? So we understand from this we're asking a question. Okay? So now we have this now with two hamzas. Al-Hakum. And who used to recite this like this? Give me two names. Yalla. Abu Bakr and who else? Ibn Abbas. Ibn Umar. Now Ibn Abbas. Aywa, barakallahu feekum. طيب. Now, قرأ معاوية. Okay, now Muawiyah and Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma radiyallahu ta'ala an ashab al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ajma'in. Now, Muawiyah and Aisha, they used to recite it. Here's go a test now. Bihamzatin, I want you, yani the Arab, listen now to the description. I want you to tell me how it was recited. Bihamzatin wahida mamduda istifhaman ayda. Again, is he right or is he wrong? He said it was said alhaakum takaathur. Is he right or is he wrong? He's right. Who agrees with the young man? Oh man, you got scared. Come on, tell me. Who agrees? Again, I gave you the description again. With one hamza, mamduda. Mamduda means it's extended, elongated. One hamza that is elongated. And we know that hamza that's mamduda really is what? Hamzataini, right? But it's elongated. Al-hakum. Okay, so it's one hamza that is elongated, and you understand from it a question as well. Is he right? Now, example, like you say to maybe your son with regards to his school, he said, dhahabta? Did you go to school? Did you go? Like this, right? Right. He's right. So they recited al-hakum. Okay? Also giving a question. Now, so now, the one that said, okay, so what does al-hakum mean? What does it mean now? What is the meaning of it? Right? Ibn Jawzi, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, al-hakum. Now, ma'na al-hakum. He said, al-hakum meaning that you have been preoccupied and been made busy away from the obedience of Allah and from His worship. That you have been preoccupied and you have been made busy away from the obedience of Allah and away from the worship of Allah. So that there's something now that has preoccupied the human being so much so that he neglects and he forgets about obeying Allah and he forgets about what? Worshipping Allah Ta'ala. So they will ask the question, Al-hakum, this thing. Al-hakum, this thing. Have you become preoccupied and busy away from the obedience of Allah and His worship? Now, so now what was this thing that preoccupied them and made them forget about the akhirah? Allah Ta'ala, He says, At-takaathur. What is this thing that preoccupied them, made them forget about akhirah, made them forget about here and now, made them forget about the meeting with their Lord? At-takaathur. Now, khairan. So now, the one with aql salim, the one with good intellect, he say, okay, ya ammu, what is the meaning of at-takaathur? Right? Every edgy to see, what's the meaning of it? Khair. Again, we go back to the Imma. Sheikh Ibn Jawzi, Imam Ibn Jawzi said what? He said that when it comes, وَفِي مَرَادْ بِالتَّكَاثُرْ ثَلَاثَ الْأَقْوَالِ. He said, and when it comes to what's intended by takathur, then we have three different opinions. He had three different statements. Now, he said the first opinion, the first statement about the meaning of takathur, he said takathur bil amwali wal awlad. Takaathur bil amwali wal awlad. He said it is the gathering of what? Of money and of children. It's the gathering up of money and of children. Okay? So a person so preoccupied in his wealth and his money and having kids and all this thing, it diverts him from the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala and from the worship of Allah Ta'ala and obeying Allah Ta'ala. Now, this is the first opinion of what this means. And this was the opinion of Al-Hasan and other than him. Khair. The second opinion is that it means At-tafakhuru bil-qabail wal-ashair. That it was the competing and the competition when it came to the tribe and when it came to the family. So busy trying to outdo the other tribe and trying to outdo the other families, then what? They have neglected and forgotten about the worship of Allah Ta'ala and the obedience of Allah Ta'ala. Now, the third opinion is that it means what? نعم التشاغل بالمعاش والتجارة. نعم التشاغل بالمعاش والتجارة. نعم is that it means one becoming preoccupied with making a living and trade in his business, his work, his job. Now, the one becoming preoccupied with his occupation, making a living, for lack of a better term, and his merchandise and commerce. This was the opinion of Dhahak and other than him. Khair. So Abdullah ibn Abbas, the Turjuman al-Qur'an, the explainer of the Qur'an, نعم هكذا ذكر يعني إمام بخاري في صحيحه. نعم وقال إمام بخاري في الصحيح وقال ابن عباس التكاثر من الأموال والأولاد. He said that Imam Bukhari, he said that التكاثر in his Sahih, he said that Abdullah ibn Abbas, he said that التكاثر, it means from money and from children. But they become preoccupied from money and become preoccupied from children. They become preoccupied from the gathering up of wealth and children. They become preoccupied by what? By dunya. So now if we go back now to the recitation of Abu Bakr and likewise that of Muawiyah. Emma alhaakum takathur or alhaakum takathur. We understand it means what? Have you become preoccupied away from the obedience of Allah and from the worship of Allah Ta'ala because of the gathering of money and children, because of the gathering of wealth, because of the pursuit of dunya? Has this led you, blinded you from that meaning? Nah? Because there are individuals who have become blinded by this. They become blinded by dunya. And is there being blinded by this? Is this something that is particular to the kuffar while the Muslims are free from it? La. Rather the Muslims, there are also from the Muslims those who have become preoccupied by dunya. And taken away from the akhirah. And if you want to look to each and one of ourselves, and we know that the qiyamul layl can be at least what? One rak'ah, right? One rak'ah. It can at least be one rak'ah. But how many times have the good of yourself said to you, maybe I should pray some qiyamul layl, even if it's before my sleep? And how often does the waswas or the evil of yourself come to you and say, hey, but you got to get up early tomorrow. You better just go to sleep. Alaysa kadhalik? Bala. How often has this happened? But we know that one rak'ah, it will prepare you for the meeting with your Lord. But the evil of yourself, because of your preoccupation with your job and with the making the money and the wealth, and you say to yourself, no, let me get to sleep. You know, the boss, man, I've been late a few times this week. He's been on my neck. He's going to write me up. Let me get to sleep so I can safeguard that. He safeguard that, and he lose the opportunity to put forth some good so when he meet his Lord. Have you become preoccupied by this money and by these children, away from the obedience of Allah and away from the ta'ah? So now what does Allah Ta'ala say about this individual? Are they just belied by this and that's it? They just become confused and wahas? La. It's not like that. Also, Hasan al-Basri, he said, Alhaakum takathur. He said, fil amwali wa awlad. Like Ibn Abbas, he said that the takathur, it means in the children, and it means in the what? In the wealth. They become belied by this. They become fooled by this. They become tricked by this. Until when? Hatta zurtumul maqabir. Until they zurtumul maqabir. We'll come inshallah to what that means. So Ibn Kathir, Imam Kathir, he said what in his opening up beginning and his explanation to this beautiful tremendous surah, Imam Kathir, he said what? He said, يقول تعالى أشغلكم حب الدنيا ونعيمها وزهرتها عن طلب آخرة وابتغائها. He says, is as if Allah Ta'ala is saying to you, have you become busy? Have you become preoccupied by the love of the dunya? And the love of the bounties of the dunya, and from the flowers and the fruits of the dunya, away from the akhirah, away from trying to seek the akhirah and wanting it? Have you become preoccupied in doing that by love of the dunya? And then he says, وَتَمَادِ بِكُمْ ذَلِكَ حَتَّى جَاءَكُمُ الْمَوْتِ وَزُرْتُمُ الْمَقَابِرِ وَسِرْتُمْ مِنْ أَهْلِهَا. He said, have you being tricked and being fooled and being preoccupied with this dunya, seeking its bounties and its fruits? Has this made you preoccupied on the akhirah and wanting the akhirah, and you have been made persistent upon being in that situation of being preoccupied by dunya, so much so that there comes to you death? Until death comes to you, you're preoccupied so much with dunya until you die, and then you become of the people of the grave, and then you become of those who visit the graves, meaning from its people. You're dead in your grave. Have you become preoccupied to that extent? وفيما أخرجه مسلم والترمذي عن مطرف عن أبيه قال أتيت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو يقرأ ألهاكم التكاثر قال يقول ابن آدم ما لي قال صلى الله عليه وسلم وهل لك يا ابن آدم من مالك إلا ما أكلت فأفنيت أو لبست فأبليت أو تصدقت فأمضيت. He said that he came upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he was reciting Alhaakum Takaathur, in which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, the son of Adam, he says, Mali, oh my wealth, my money. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, and what do you have from your money, O son of Adam, except for that which you have eaten and finished, or except for that which you have worn or put on and wore out, or from that which you have given in charity and set forward? Now, so let's gain some more tawdeeh on this hadith. So bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we go to Al-Hafidh Abu Ala Muhammad Abdul Rahman Al-Mubarak Furi. And this kalam is found in the Sheikh's explanation, the Imam's explanation of As-Sunan at-Tirmidhi. So if we go to the first part now, and the Sheikh he's giving the explanation as the wording comes in at-Tirmidhi, which is slightly different from the wording in Muslim. Okay? So the Sheikh, he says, وَهَلْ لَكَ مِنْ مَالِكَ, and what is from you from your money? The Shaykh, he said, what is meant by that? And what do you have from your money? A, هل يحصل لك من مال وينفعك في المال? He said, do you gain anything from your money, and are you benefited from your money? This is what's meant. Like, and what do you gain from your money, and what do you benefit from your money? Have you attained any gain from your money, or any benefit from your money? Illa, except, meaning that the only time you benefit really from your money is in these three different situations. Okay, this is the reality. You're chasing after this wealth. This is not really benefiting you, and it only benefits you in these three situations only. He said, except illa ma tasaddaqta fa amdayt, except for that which you have put forward. Now, except for that sadaqah, that charity which you have put forward. He said, in the meaning of that is that you put it forward, and that it will last. It will be something lasting that you put forward for yourself for the day of jaza, for the day when you meet your Lord, for Yawm al-Qiyamah. Nah, except for that what you put forward for that day, okay? Or except, of course, for that which you have food which you have eaten and you finished it, or that which you have worn and you wore it out. That's the only time you can really benefit from your money. And this is the reality of the situation. So the Shaykh, or the Al-Hafidh ibn Kathir, he brings a line of poetry inside of the explanation of this surah, and he says, أنت للمال إذا أمسكته وإذا أنفقته فالمال لك. He said that you belong to your money as long as you hold on to it. You think you own your money? La. You want to be hoardy? You want to be niggardly? You want to be stingy? You want to be miserly? Then your money controls you. You don't control your money. He said that you belong to your money as long as you hold on to it. Now, as long as you hold on, you hoard it, you belong to your money. He said, but your money shall belong to you if you spend it fi sabilillah. You see, if you spend it fi sabilillah, then it belongs to you. Why? Because now you come in akhirah and it's waiting there for you to benefit you. But you hold on to it, you hide it, you put it in the secret account, you put it in the fireproof box under your bed, in the shoe box under your pillow, guns blazing, waiting, no, nobody taking this. And what happened? You died, and then other human beings split it up and benefit from it. And then you come Yawm al-Qiyamah, what you got? Nothing. You ain't got nothing. It didn't benefit you. You don't have it. It don't belong to you. But what happens? You belong to it. It uses you. So who's really the boss now? You see? And this is the danger of these things. This is how the shaitan, it comes and deludes you with stuff that you don't really own. You don't own it. You can become deluded. You see? But you own it and take possession if you do what? Spend it fi sabilillah. Now it's yours. Now it belongs to you. Now you'll benefit from it. Now, so Allah Ta'ala, He says, Hatta zurutumul maqabir, until you visit the graves. What is the meaning of until you visit the graves? Imam al-Baghawi, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said in his tafseer, Hatta mittum wa dufintum fil maqabir. He said it means until you die and it had been buried in your graves. This is what's meant. Until you visit the graves. Meaning what? Until you die and you have been put in your graves. Meaning that a person, he will be deluded by dunya, deluded by money, deluded by children, so much so until he died. Until he died. So some of the people from the past, the Salaf, they used to say that the dunya is like wine. It's like khamr. Okay? Whoever becomes intoxicated, whoever gets drunk off the dunya, he won't sober up until Yawm al-Qiyamah. He won't sober up until akhirah, till death comes. Malakul Maut taking the soul. Then you realize, I need more time. Send me back. Verily, I'm going to make sadaqah and be of the righteous. I need more time. Now you remember, but it's too late. It's too late. So they become deluded until they have reached the maqabir. So Allah Ta'ala, He says what? Kalla. Kalla. No way. What is the meaning by this no way? Ibn al-Jawzi said in his tafsir, he said, Qala Zajjaj وهي ردع. Naam. Meaning that this is a prevention. That this kalla is to prevent and to also do what? وتنبيه. Naam. وهي ردع وتنبيه. That it is to prevent you, but it's also to wake you up. Kalla. No way. No what? What do we understand by that? The Shaykh, he says, المعنى ليس الأمر الذي ينبغي أن يكونوا عليه تكاثر. He said what's meant is that this affair in which you're on, it doesn't necessitate that you should be trying to gather all this stuff. It's not like that. The reality doesn't necessitate that you should be trying to gather up money and gather up children. That you should be trying to gather up dunya. You want more and more dunya. This is not the situation. This is not what it calls for. So Allah Ta'ala says, Kalla. No way. It's not like that. And then Allah Ta'ala, He follows up with what? He follows up with something, ya ikhwa, subhanallah al-azim. If we would just sit and contemplate on this, it's enough, to give you gray hairs. Allah Ta'ala says, no way. Sawfa ta'lamun. This is a threat from Allah. No way. You're going to know. I mean, if you don't know now, you're going to know. سوف تعلمون. If you don't know now, if you become deluded now in dunya, you're going to know. No way. It's not supposed to be like that. But you know what? You're going to come to know. You'll see. You'll see. This is a threat. The Imam, he said, هذا وعيد. He said, this is a threat. This is a threat from who? From me? From you? La. This is a threat from Allah. وَمَنْ أَصْدَقَ الْحَدِيثِ مِنَ اللَّهِ. No one who's more truthful than Allah Ta'ala in his speech. Nobody. If Allah Ta'ala threaten you, you better not be Juyaanee. You better not take the characteristics that Allah Ta'ala say He's going to get you if you do that stuff. Why? Allah is going to get you. He's going to enforce that threat. It's a promise. It's going to happen. If you become deluded, kalla, sawfa ta'lamun. So how do we understand now sawfa ta'lamun? The Shaykh, he says, وَالْمَعْنَى سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ عَاقِبَةُ التَّكَاثُرِ أو تكاثركم وتفاخركم إذا نزل بكم الموت. He said that, or نزل بكم الموت. He said that verily. What's the meaning of you going to know? He said you're going to know the evil end result of your collecting and being and trying to gather of money and of children and of your and competing in these matters when death comes upon you. When death comes, then you're going to know. But if you look now at the ayah, we have كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون. It comes twice. It comes twice. Now remember, I said that in the Arabic language, never does something come twice having the same purpose. Okay? Listen now. Never does something come twice having the same purpose. So the second one is not going to have the same purpose as the first one. Okay? Either it'll be to emphasize the second one, what the first one was saying, or it'll come with a new meaning. So now what do the Imma say about these two ayat? كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون. What do they say? What do we understand the meanings of these two ayat? They say وقيل العلم الأول يقع عند نزول الموت. That the first one كلا سوف تعلمون, know that you're going to know. They say that this knowing will come to you when you die. When you die, now you're going to know. But is that it? That's it? La. They say, and then the second one is when you get thrown and put in your grave. Then you gonna know more. When that interrogation comes from them angels, then you gonna know better. So kalla, sawfa ta'lamun, when you die, you gonna know. If you would be lied, if you were tricked, you were duped, you didn't know, you forgot, when you die, you gonna remember. And then when you get put in your grave, you gonna remember again. When you die, you gonna know. And then when you get put in your grave, you gonna know again. So then Allah Ta'ala, he goes on and he says, كَلَّا لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عِلْمَ الْيَقِينِ. He says, no, if you were to know with a certain knowledge. Imam al-Baghawi, he said in his Tafseer, أي علم اليقين وأضاف علم إلى اليقين كقوله تعالى لا هو الحق اليقين. It's in Suratut al-Waqi'ah. He said that Allah Ta'ala, He has combined knowledge with certainty. He said, like He had done so in the verse from Suratut al-Waqi'ah. It's the 95th verse, where Allah Ta'ala says, لا هو الحق اليقين. And it is the certain knowledge on it. It is a certain knowledge. He said, and jawabul law. This is for the Arabic people now, the Arabic buffs, those studying Arabic, the students. You know that when you say low, you need a jawab. You say low, you need an answer to that low. That kalla, if. Okay? Now, that kalla, no, if. If they were to know this. So what is the answer to that if? What is the answer to that if, right? He says, al-jawab low, the answer, the sentence that answers that if, he said, mahdhuf. It has been taken away, it's not there. It's understood, but it's not there. So what do we understand then? What's understood? What the ulama explained to us? They say, Imam Baghawi, he said, rahimahullah ta'ala, ay law ta'lamuna ilman يقينا لشغلكم ما تعلمون عن التكاثر والتفاخر. Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. He said what? He said, what does this mean? كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين. No, if they knew with a certain knowledge. If they knew what? What's the answer for if? He said, what's understood by this is what? Is that if you all knew. Listen now, this is to you and to me and to you. To me first. To me first. Then to you all. He said, if you all knew with a certain knowledge, that, or with a certain knowledge, it said, you who have busied yourselves, you would have busied yourselves with what you know. He said that if you were to know with a certain knowledge, then you would busy yourselves with what you know. And inshallah ta'ala, we're going to come to what's understood of what we know from the statement of Qatada. But he says that if you were to know with a certain knowledge, then you would have busied yourselves with what you know, as opposed to the gathering of wealth and competing in wealth and children. That if you were to know with a certain knowledge, then you would have busied yourselves with what you know, as opposed to the gathering of wealth and competing in wealth and children. So now what is that certain knowledge? Qatada, he said, rahimahullah ta'ala, kunna natahaddath an ilm al-yaqeen. He said that we used to speak about this certain knowledge. We used to talk about this certain knowledge. What is it? He said that certain knowledge is what? أن يعلم أن الله بعثه بعد الموت. He said that that certain knowledge is that an individual, he knows with a certainty that Allah is going to raise him up after he's dead. That he's going to have to go back to Allah Ta'ala. This is that certain knowledge. So if he said, so if we were to know that certain knowledge that we're going to be raised after we die, then we will busy ourselves with that reality, and we will not busy ourselves with the gathering of wealth and the gathering of children. So now Allah Ta'ala goes on to say, لَتَرَوُونَ الْجَحِيمِ, that verily, most definitely, you're going to see the Jahim. Now, قال حافظ ابن كثير, الحافظ ابن كثير رحمه الله تعالى, he said, هذا تفسير وعيد المتقدم. He said that this is the explanation of the threat that preceded. Of the threat that preceded. What was the threat that preceded? Who remembers? No, it was a threat though. I heard it. سوف تعلمون. Now, he said this is the answering of the threat that you had just been threatened with. He said, and that is Allah Ta'ala's statement, كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. He said, تَوَعَّدَهُمْ بِهَذَا الْحَالِ, that Allah Ta'ala, He has warned them, He has threatened them with a threatening promise of this situation. And what's that situation? Hiya ru'yatul nar. And that is that they will have to look at the fire. Allah's threatening them that they're going to have to look and see and face the fire. He said, Allati idha zafarat. He said that this fire, that when it groans, zafratan wahidatan, and when it groans, just one groan. Listen, that when this fire groans, just one groan. He said, خَوَرَ كُلُّ مَلَكٍ مُقَرَّبٍ وَالنَّبِيٌّ مُرْسَلٍ عَلَى رُكْبَتَيْهِ من المهابة والعظمة ومعاينة الأحوال على ما جاء به أثر مروي في ذلك. He said that when this fire just makes one groan, he said that every angel that's close and every prophet that has been sent will fall to their knees out of fear and out of reverence and due to an examination of that situation. He said, and this has come and this has come in those narrations that have been narrated. This meaning that just one groan, it will cause the angels and the anbiya to fall to their knees. And Allah Ta'ala is saying that the one who has become deluded by dunya, he will have to do what? He will have to look at it. Not just hear it, he's going to have to look at it. He's going to have to face it. You see? And is that it? They just face it? Because this is the reality that we have to return back to Allah Ta'ala. Is that just it? We return to Allah, but then Allah Ta'ala, He tells us something which is extremely scary. It's frightening. It's frightening. Allah Ta'ala, He says what? ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. He said, and then on that day, you're going to be asked about the na'im. Subhanallah. We're going to be asked about the na'im. What is the na'im? See, that's the next question. What is this na'im that we're going to be asked about? قال ابن جوزي رحمه الله تعالى في تفسيره. He said, اختلفوا على هذا سؤال عام أم لا. He said that the ulama, they differ with regards to this question. Is it a question that's going to be general or not? He said, على قولين. They have two different opinions. He said, أحدهما أنه خاص للكافر وللكفار. He said the first is that this is only particular to the kuffar and not the Muslims. That only the kuffar will be asked about the na'im and not the Muslims. He said, وَقَالَهُ الْحَسَنِ. And this was the opinion of Hassan. He said the second opinion is that it is general. Amun. Is that it's general. That everybody will be asked about it. The kafir and the Muslim will be asked about the na'im. Okay? He said this was a statement of Qatada. He said, and with regards to the tafseer of na'im, then you had 10 different opinions. Okay? 10 different opinions. Inshallah ta'ala, we're going to run through them. Inshallah, because it's benefit and you understand better. طيب. خلي بالكم يعني. Everybody, free your brain. Come with me. طيب. The first one is that the na'im that you're going to be asked about. That verily, most definitely, no doubt, you're going to be asked about what? أَنَّهُ الْأَمْنُ وَالصِّحَّةِ. The first opinion is that you're going to be asked about safety and good health. That you're going to be interrogated by Allah Ta'ala about the safety, anytime you went to bed in peace and security and in good health. Okay, you're going to be asked about that. The second opinion is what? أَنَّهُ الْمَاءُ الْبَارِدُ. The second opinion is that the na'im is cold water. You sit down, you drink that cold water, you're going to be questioned about it. The third one is that أَنَّهُ خُبْزٌ بُرٌ وَالْمَاءُ الْعَذْبُ. Is that it is, the third opinion is that it is that nice bread and spring water. You're going to be asked about that nice bread and what? And spring water. It's important now. I need everybody to jot these down. The fourth is that أنه ملاذ المأكول والمشروب. Is that we're going to be asked about the pleasure and the joy we got from food and drink. Subhanallah. That Allah Ta'ala will question us about the food and the drink. So you have that drink that you love. Pepsi, Snapple, Arizona iced tea. And you drink it and you enjoy it. Allah will ask you about that. That food you love, Allah Ta'ala will question you about that. The fifth is that أنه صحة الأبدان والأسماع والأبصار. Is that it is the good health of the body, the hearing, and of the seeing. That Allah Ta'ala will question you about your health. Allah Ta'ala, He will question you
That Allah Ta'ala, He will question you about your hearing. That Allah Ta'ala will question you about your seeing. Contemplate about this. How many of us give our health away? We don't use it for the ibadah of Allah. We give our hearing to things that are haram. We give our seeing to that which is haram. This is what you're going to be asked about. The sixth is that the na'im that we're going to be interrogated and questioned about by our Lord, أنه الغداء والعشاء, that we're going to be asked and interrogated about what? About our lunch and our dinner. What we ate at lunchtime, what we ate at dinner time and enjoyed so much. We're going to be questioned about these things. The seventh is that we're going to be questioned about as-sihha wal-faragh. That Allah Ta'ala, He will question us about our good health and about our spare time. What do we do with it? Did we spend it worshiping Allah? Did we spend it seeking knowledge? Or did we spend it in foolishness, in haram? What did we use it for? The eighth is that with the meaning of na'im is kullu shay min ladhat ad-dunya. That the na'im is everything you enjoy from dunya. Everything pleasurable from dunya you're going to be asked about. Everything enjoyable from dunya you're going to be questioned about. It's important, yani ya ikhwa, barakallahu ta'ala fikum, that we contemplate on these things. Because you have some of us, we find enjoyment in haram. We find enjoyment and pleasure in haram. Allah Ta'ala will ask you about that. The ninth, أنه إنعام الله على الخلق بإرسال محمد sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The ninth is that that na'im is the blessing that Allah Ta'ala put on His creation by sending them Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. You see, this is what we're going to be asked about. Do you have from the Muslims those who don't want His sunnah? وَيَعَذُ بِاللَّهِ. Seek refuge in Allah from that. Ameen. And the 10th, أنه صنوف النعم, is that it's all types of blessings. It's all types of blessings. That's what we're going to be asked about. So now we have this long list of 10. From fresh water, from good bread, from food, from lunch, from dinner. Which one is it? Which one? Which one is an-na'im? Ibn al-Jawzi, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, first with regards to whether this is for the Muslims only, or for the kuffar only, or for everyone. The Shaykh, the Imam, he said, وَالصَّحِيحِ أَنَّهُ عَامٌ أَنَّهُ عَامٌ في كل نعيم. He said, with regards to which 10 of it is this, because these are all 10 from the an'am of Allah Ta'ala. Nah? These are all 10 from the ni'am. Huh? From the ni'am. He said, and which of it is it? He said that is authentic. He said what's correct is that it includes every ni'mah. These that were mentioned in other from the ni'am. It includes every bounty, every blessing. It includes everything. Allah Ta'ala will interrogate us about it. Everything that we found as a blessing, Allah Ta'ala, He will interrogate us about it. So let the one who finds pleasure in the haram be warned. Let the one who finds pleasure in the haram be warned. Let the one who finds pleasure in the haram be warned that he will have to stand in front of his Lord and answer why he found pleasure in music, why he found pleasure in gambling, Why he found pleasure in pornography. Why he found pleasure in drinking liquor. Why he found pleasure in smoking marijuana. All of us knows the evil that we do. Think to yourself, to your most despicable of deeds, that you find pleasure in. Having to stand in front of your Lord and be asked about that thing. Let us think about this. And then the Shaykh, he comments now about whether it is for the kuffar only or it is for the Muslims too. The Shaykh, he says, وَعَامٌ فِي جَمِيعِ الْخَلْقِ. He said, and this goes for everyone, all of the creation. They're going to be asked. The kafir and the Muslim. The kafir and the mu'min. They will be asked about these things. They will be asked about these things. He said, فَالْكَافِرْ يُسْأَلْ تَوْبِيخًا إِذَا لَمْ يَشْكُرْ الْمُنْعِمْ. He said, the kafir, he will be asked about these bounties and he will be rebuked for not thanking the one who bestowed these bounties upon him, meaning Allah Ta'ala. He'll be asked about these bounties and then he'll be rebuked for not thanking Allah for these bounties that Allah Ta'ala has given him. And for also what? وَلَمْ يُوَحِّدْهُ. And for not singling out Allah Ta'ala alone in worship. They'll be rebuked for not thanking Allah and for not establishing a tawheed. They'll be rebuked for this. So all the things that they found pleasure will be brought up and they'll be rebuked for this. وَالْمُؤْمِنْ يُسْأَلْ عَنْ شُكْرِهَا. And the Muslim, he'll be asked to see whether or not he was thankful. Whether or not he was thankful. You were given health. You were given wealth. What did you do with it? Were you thankful? Did you fast when you were healthy? Did you make extra salah when you were healthy? Did you stand up at night when you were healthy? Did you help your brothers when you were healthy? What did you do with your health? What did you do with your money? What do you do to all these things? What have you done with these things that Allah Ta'ala has blessed you with? Have you wasted them? Have you squandered them? What have you done? Allah Ta'ala has given us everything. What have we done to show our gratitude? Because gratitude is not something which is just by the word. It's also by actions. It's not just by words, but it's by actions. Do our actions show that we're grateful? Or do they show that we're not grateful? Each and every one of us knows his own hal. He knows his own condition. Let us look to ourselves. Let us see the fault within ourselves. Let us weigh ourselves before we are weighed. And if we find in us anything that is bad, let us change. Let us change it. These are the things that we're going to be interrogated about. So ala kulli hal ya ikhwa, let us not be from those who have become deceived by this dunya. Let us not be of those who have become deceived and drunken by the wine of dunya. So much so that they will not wake up until they have gone back to until they have reached the graves. So Allah Ta'ala, he says, أَلْهَاكُمُ التَّكَاثُرُ حَتَّى زُرْتُمُ الْمَقَابِرِ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ كَلَّا لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عِلْمَ الْيَقِينِ لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمَ ثُمَّ لَتَرَوُنَّهَا عَيْنَ الْيَقِينِ ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. Allah Ta'ala, he says, have you become preoccupied, or he says, you have become preoccupied with the gathering of wealth and children until you have reached the graves and become from its inhabitants? Verily, it should not be like this, and you will come to know. Then again, you shall come to know. And if you were to know the reality, then of course you would not have busied yourselves with this. If you were to know with a good knowledge, or with a certain knowledge, that verily you are going to see the Jahannam. And then we had neglected to mention this ayah, ثُمَّ لَتَرَوُنَّهَا عَيْنَ الْيَقِينِ. And verily you're going to see it with a certain eye, meaning the eye of that's inside your head. It's not going to be no figurative seeing, but you're going to see it with your eye inside of your head. And then on that day, you'll be asked about every single bounty, every single thing that you found pleasure in. So we ask Allah Ta'ala to make us of those who find pleasure in the halal. We ask Allah Ta'ala to make us of those who are thankful to Him and who show that thanks in word as well as action. We ask Allah Ta'ala He does not make us of those who are deceived by the life of this world. We ask Allah to make us of those who work for the akhirah and who not forget our meeting and our appointment that we're going to have with our Lord. We ask Allah that He makes us of those who are prepared and who ready themselves, because verily death is drawing near. Are you ready? هذا أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وجزاكم الله خيرا.